Earlier on, we talked about the cash transfer programs through the National Drought Management Authority. And this is to put money into the pockets of the people. How effective has this been? And now that there is a prediction that the dry spell is likely to lengthen, are you looking from policy perspective, and as a key member of the Agriculture Committee, the chairperson for that matter, into increasing that budget of the people who have been affected at the household level?
Yes, of course, the numbers are rising, and we have looked through the budget this week, the budget policy statement, and we are looking at the packaging of the subsidy. Cash transfer is one of them. The other possibilities like this lowering of the prices of the fertilizer, and also the livestock offtake possibility, where the government engages in buying of animals that are affected by drought so that they can be slaughtered and, packed and canned for use, and therefore compensating the farmers. We are also looking at possibilities of emergency response, especially in the dry areas where we have feed supply, pastures, and we can buy hay and supply to those areas. You can also, it is also possible to give them the salt, to give them the supplements, and so on. So they come in as a package. So what we are looking at is the numbers are swelling, and the kitty within the agricultural sector is not very large. Agriculture is not one of those highly funded sectors, unfortunately, although it is one of the greatest support of the economy. There's a paradox there. There's a complete lack of correlation, and we are trying to lobby the government to look at it a lot more favorably because it is important. We have realized that those countries that have looked at funding agriculture or have deliberately funded agriculture better are doing a lot more in terms of even growth, because the agriculture GDP in most of the African countries drives the national GDP at a completely, almost linear correlation. And we realize that we need to fund agriculture properly. And one of the things is alleviating the suffering of the people who are used to who are engaged in lifestyles of producing food for us, food or livestock. Yes.
But why then do you think, and have you inquired about this, the underfunding of the agriculture sector? Because it more or less is the backbone of the economy, yet the resources that go there are very small.
Yeah, there is we are having these conversations almost all over. Right now, there's a conference happening in Nairobi at Westlands from yesterday up to the end of the day today, which is an African parliamentary session on the CADAP. CADAP is the Comprehensive African Agriculture Development Program, which is the AU's interpretation of what needs to be done within agriculture under the African Union framework. So we are looking at how do we interpret what we do within the agricultural sector so that it focuses a lot more on supporting the people to keep on, increasing their production and productivity and supporting the economies. And you have realized those countries that have increased funding to agriculture, there was, in 2003, there was an agreement signed by our president in Maputo. And this agreement basically presupposed that come 2008, 5 years down the line, African countries should have supported agriculture with at least 10% of the national budget. Kenya did not manage to do that. And then later on, 10 years later, another one was signed in Equatorial Guinea, in a town called Malabo, and it's called the Malabo Declaration. The Malabo Declaration has come up with specifics about 7 clearly agreed upon areas where the government needs to be measured on. And if you don't support agriculture properly, then you'll always miss out. Like Kenya has only been able, in the last assessment, which was done in 2021, Kenya was only able to be performing in only one out of 7. So the other 7 we have flopped. We have not really we are below average, which means we've not been able to deliver. So we are using all these arguments to engage the government, to tell the government, those others who have done well, like Rwanda, and even Ethiopia has increased, even Tanzania has actually increased their funding to agriculture. They are doing a lot more. And they are getting more than 10% growth in the economy. 10%, but double digit.
Yeah.
As we are struggling with a single digit, the lower you fund agriculture, the more you don't grow fast. And I'll tell you the reason why. That is where the people are. If you want an economy to grow, invest in the people. The greater the number of people who are being useful and contributing to the economy, the more you grow the turnaround. And therefore, that is where we need to focus a lot more. Okay,
we'll talk about, of course, farming and the awareness bit, and Dr. Omondi, of course, will be coming in on that as well. Mary, in the mapping that you have done and which we have shown our audience, there are many counties where, in terms of your projections of the rain, are categorized as undefined. What does that mean?